Mindsight 2020, March edition. I cannot believe we're already in March, people. Where is 2020 going? Okay. March to me makes everybody think of what? March Madness. I enjoyed painting with you guys on my art and anger video. And that was so fun because I got to really kind of express myself. That was kind of a get to know me video a little bit. But anyway, I wanted to kind of extend March Madness and the anger subject because I think that that's a really powerful thing and block that we have in our minds that can hinder us sometimes. And I kind of touched on this in the other video as well. I'll leave it below if you want to check it out. I'm just painting and talking, but about anger. But I wanted to kind of go over what I do or what I have done, and just this, like, I have found this to be a surefire way to help me get through the small anger moments. Okay, not the big blowouts. If you are capable of controlling yourself and controlling your anger, okay, then this video is for you. But if you really do have a hard time controlling your anger, if you always seem to lash out, you're quick to it or whatever, if you feel like you need professional help, that's perfectly okay to go and seek help for that. This video is not for that. I'm giving my thing that I like to do in the moments where I tend to want to lash out, but I can control myself. That's it. Now, when I'm in a state of, like, just semi-pissed off, okay? I haven't lashed out at anybody. I'm just like, maybe it's just one of them days, right? There are things that I can do that I can, like, just remove myself, like, redirect myself from the situation. Like, I tend to, if it's like all quiet in the house, then I can write. Usually I can jot some stuff down. Sometimes I get really like Bukowski crazy with my poetry. And I don't know, I feel like moments where if my anger seems to come out of nowhere, or if it's like something really big in my body that I'm quick to, is like 0 to 60, I do have to bring myself back down. Like, as an air sign, I'm stuck in the clouds a lot. I have to ground a lot, people, or I will float away like a hot air balloon, okay? So I already know and I'm familiar with grounding and how I have to kind of bring myself back to earth on some situations. Now, anger to me is different. It's a grounding that I have to do when I don't have time to like get my journal out and write. I don't have the time to go out and dance. Dancing is a huge part of my life. But with that being said, sometimes I just have to be able, I have to remove myself from the situation in a state of, I'm still in the argument, I'm still in the situation, and I can't redirect fully, then there has to be something I can do. And I found out what it is for me. Again, this is like, this is a quick fix for me in how I just explained it. But like I said, take with this what you will, people, because this is just what works for me. And like I said, if this is something that you feel you need professional help, it's perfectly okay to seek that, okay? Be 100. Now, I'm so bad about coming up with home remedies for stuff. I'm so bad about that. So after researching things we can do for anger and things I can do when I get, I can be quick to anger. So I felt like I had to research it, right? And like see if I can come up with some ways that in my research I can kind of combine or make sense of to where it works for me. And I've tried a couple of them, okay? If I'm in the situation, or there's still, that person's still in front of me, or like I said, it's a situation and I'm just like, oh, I have to go, I do know about grounding already, so I knew that grounding itself works, like bringing me back down. But it's like a lot of people count backwards from 10 or to 10. And so I kind of wanted to go on that scale, something that I could do in the moment when I realize I'm about to blow my lid like a volcano if these people don't shut the hell up. But I realized that just counting, I had to focus my mind on something else. I literally had to blank, think about something else, or I was just gonna blast these people, right? Or the situation, or take it out. That's what we don't want the anger to turn into, a projection, right? Or a lash out, where you're potentially emotionally or physically harming someone else. We don't want it to get that far. Ever. Okay. So, like I said, I found a way that I can visualize and not just count to 10 and there's like the situations and the argument or the situation, whatever, is still in my brain. I found a way using my 5 senses to think about something else. Okay? Feel. And I'm talking about feeling with my body. What's the inside of my body feel like? Am I warm or cold? Like, are my feet hurting from wearing my shoes all day, right? Is my back hurting? Are my eyes tired? Sometimes I have those days where I'm like awake and I feel okay, but my eyelids are so heavy, right? So I assess myself on a feeling level, right? And then I listen, using my ears, the sounds of whatever is around you, okay? Even if it's something that you're obsessing over and because you're angry and you just like, you could still be in the silence of your house. If it happens to me that way, I tend to listen to my refrigerator, mumbling, or my washer and dryer going, or the traffic outside the window, stuff like that. Just ground yourself in where you are at in a hearing way, okay? Say you're at the office, right? Hear the clatter, okay, or the coffee shop. A lot of people use the coffee shop chatter because you can't really discern what anyone specifically is saying. It just seems to be like, mumbling, kind of like ASMR a little bit. A lot of people do that. But grounding yourself where you're at. The next is smell. It's my coffee. My coffee brewing. The dishwasher has that specific scent of the soap that you use. The incense that you're doing, my oil burners are always going, so that's going, like my essential oils. And I try to pinpoint where everything is at and then what the smell is. Like, oh, I'm burning some frankincense today. Whatever. And then I go to taste. Okay, so I'm going and, in whatever order I want, but I'm going in order and I'm not stopping with this, okay? And you can picture this like really fast too. You can go as fast or as slow as you have to. Say this happens to you and you don't have a taste, right? You're not actively eating anything. It could be the gum. It could be the fact that your tongue is burnt from the tea or coffee you had earlier in the day. It could be that little bit of peanut butter toast that you had that morning. Okay? That bean burrito that you had for lunch, right? Whatever is kind of sitting here in your mouth. Assess it. You're assessing yourself with this check-in. Okay? Now, as the activity goes with the senses, what I have found when I have to do this exercise, when I have to okay, I need to check in with my senses. And I'm doing this internally, right? It's like boom, 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 boom. But then if it comes up again and I'm alone, or say I'm in the bath, or another argument starts and I'm like, well, this is what happened to me today, right? I have to take that a step further and I have to do a visualization technique. Okay, I love to do this. It's like active imagination. I like to do this in a way that will put the 5 senses in perspective for me, that I can journal about actively once I get out of the visualization. Now this could be 5 to 10 minutes, however you want to take on this activity, okay? But you're taking the 5 senses, the check-in, okay? You've assessed yourself already, but if you have to, you can take it one step further. I like to close my eyes. I have to be sitting at a 45-degree angle. If I'm sitting backwards or if I'm laying down at all, that never works. For me, that never works. So I sit at a 45-degree angle. I like to sit with like my knees up, but I can't do that or else my feet will go asleep, okay? So I like to plant my feet on the ground, close my eyes, get to breath, right? And then I visualize this blackness, okay? Like a black sheet, okay? And then all of a sudden, a mirror appears, okay? As plain or as ornate as you want it, okay? And then you appear in the mirror, okay? Slowly, like mist, right? And then you in the mirror open your eyes and your mouth. And then you put your hands up like this, okay? You're not doing any of this. The mirror you is doing this, okay? And then, one by one, go through all 5 of the senses, okay? And it's just all of a sudden, when you, like say you're at taste, all of a sudden, this light and a color will appear out of your mouth. And try to do this as like non-planned out as possible. I like to do this in like a just whatever my brain pops out first thing. So say it's green, right? Next is the eyes, right? Go through all 5, and then they're just all 5 until all 5 are emitting a color, okay? Don't pull out of the vision yet. Then have all the lights go back to wherever they came from, and then you mist away from the mirror. And then the mirror kind of slides down into oblivion as well until nothing but blackness is there. And then you open your eyes. You. That's what I like to do. That just takes, like if I've had to do that at the office, say, that morning or whatever, I've had to check in at the 5 senses. Once I get home, I don't want that to still be, because sometimes it happens that way. I'm still reeling about it. Even if I've done the check-in at the time and that helped me to ground myself in the moment, I'm still kind of fuming about whatever it was, right? So to stop myself from lashing out at my family about it or anyone else or the next day still thinking about it, I try to get somewhere quiet, like no distractions, so that I can be totally by myself, totally in the silence, and then do this 5 to 10 minutes. Okay, usually I'm sitting on my bed, right? That way I'm not going to get disturbed if I'm in my bedroom. But if I'm in my bedroom and I'll do this visualization technique, it only lasts for 5 minutes for me, 5 to 10 minutes. I do it pretty fast, but not in a fast, like I'm hurrying it way. That's just how it goes for me because I've done it. And then after I wake up from the visualization, I journal about why my brain came up with those specific colors for the senses. Like green. Well, that's because I'm thinking about the mint that I had. So you just never know what your brain's gonna pop out as far as a color. And then you could go on symbolism, you could go on like color symbolism, or you could just jot down your thoughts, your initial first thoughts on why your brain would have picked those colors. And that's a way to come back to ground, come back to your anger, and then it just gives your brain something else to think about in a more assessing yourself way. Like, is this really worth it? Is this something that, after you have done the visualization, I find it so much better to assess the actual situation that pissed me off or the conversation. And I'm like, okay, after I've done that, it's easier for me to come up with solutions for potential problems because I'm grounded. I'm not actively angry anymore. I've calmed down. This is basically just a calm down technique. So I'll probably put the 5 sense check-in and this visualization in a file for you just in case you want to check it out. I really dived with this and I hope it was informative because we're going to talk about more upbeat subjects later on down the road and fun subjects. But as March Madness goes, I really wanted to dive into anger a little bit and how I not combat, you don't combat it, okay? A technique that I use to calm down in certain situations and conversations that I tend to have. Come back in April on It's New Moon and join me again for some more Mindsight 2020 videos, okay? Much love. Have a blessed day.